Well, it seems like the jig is officially up for P. Diddy, the booty hole slayer himself. It's been less than a week since he found himself thrown back inside Brooklyn Detention after Judge Juan Merchant lost all patience with his sorry butt. And now the word on the street is that he's getting his own reputation rearranged in a way that nobody saw coming. The man who once threw wild parties and sprayed baby oil like it was the secret to eternal cool is now locked up in Brooklyn Detention, and tomorrow, Mother's Day, is about to witness history in the making. It's not your typical holiday. May 12th is approaching, and for the first time in jail history, the inmates aren't thinking about calling their real mothers. They've already got one. His name? Mama Diddy. Listen up, because I'm only going to tell you this once. Diddy was supposed to be walking tall on May 5th. He strolled into court with a fresh haircut, designer suit, and that confident swagger, acting like nothing could bring him down. He tried the usual lines about being drunk and not meaning any harm, trying to blame it on the party lifestyle. But then the judge, without skipping a beat, leaned forward and barked, "Diddy, if you don't sit your dumb ass down!" With that, the gavel came down like a beat drop from '98. Bail was denied. And just like that, his case was sent straight back to jail. No appeals, no mercy, and definitely no celebrity special treatment. Now, don't go anywhere, because what happens next is the real shocker. So the next thing you see, Diddy finds himself heading back to Brooklyn Detention, and the warden is waiting for him like a father disappointed by his wayward son. "Diddy, get over here, boy," the warden calls out. Then in a moment that will go down in Jailhouse legend, he holds out a bar of soap and says, "Catch it." But we all know Diddy isn't known for his catching skills. That soap hit the floor, and with it fell the last vestiges of his former glory. In that instant, Diddy wasn't seen as the mogul of the music world anymore. Instead, he earned a new title, Mama Diddy, and that ain't no diss. Word spread quickly throughout Cell Block C. Inmates began calling him Mama Diddy with pride. They no longer pined for their long-missed mothers. Instead, they gathered around him each day. One inmate even said, "I haven't seen my real mom in years, but Mama Diddy's hugs make it feel like she's right here." Now listen closely. Diddy isn't getting any special breaks now. He's not running the place, but he's still getting the same rough treatment as every other inmate. When he steps into the showers, it's not a moment for solitude. It's showtime. You better believe that in Brooklyn Detention, everybody gets a turn. Inmates have him dropping that proverbial soap on schedule. He's become like a revolving door. Everyone gets a chance, and no one's missing out. And it isn't just the inmates. The correctional officer and even the warden are in on it. They're all lining up for what they call Mama Diddy. Some COs joke that Diddy is no longer the man he used to be. He is now the heartbeat of the block. Word on the Cell Block grapevine is that tomorrow is going to be a total blast. For Mother's Day, the inmates have made a plan to turn Cell Block C into a party zone. We're talking an oatmeal cake with peanut butter frosting, homemade cards crafted from paper towels, and a talent show where Big Tyrone will serenade everyone with "I'll Be Missing You." No holds barred, of course. One creative inmate even fashioned a bonnet for Diddy out of old materials, proclaiming it a crown fit for the queen of the cell. But here's the twist. The only way Diddy can escape this whole Mama Diddy madness is by striking a crazy deal. Not a typical legal plea, but a downright daring off-the-books arrangement. He'd have to head back into that courtroom and look the judge in the eye to say, "Your Honor, if you set me free, I'll hand over the last 3 bottles of our exclusive baby oil stash, those rare ones from the raid, the ones that started it all." That's his wild card left in the deck. So here's the question I want you to ponder. Should Diddy stick with his new role as the reigning jailhouse mama? Or will he gamble it all on that racy deal to reclaim his freedom? Now let's talk about something that's got folks scratching their heads. Is the feds targeting Diddy in a way they never did the CSBs? Or were they just lucky enough to catch him slipping while the others slipped through their fingers? It's like they picked the wrong player to tackle. A lot of people are saying that the feds are treating Diddy differently. Just last year, they raided his home and workspaces, tearing everything apart and confiscating his phone, computers, and even his freaking clothes. But when it came to the CSB's inner circle, they seemed to forget how hard Diddy and them partied together. Even though Diddy spilled the beans about their drug sessions during the trial, it felt like the feds ignored it. But now they're bringing the full force on Diddy, acting like he was the main culprit. It's leaving people wondering why they didn't treat the CSBs the same way they're treating Diddy. Are the feds just lucky that Diddy had a slip-up, giving them a reason to crack down on him when they couldn't with the CSBs? Or is there something more going on behind the scenes? People are starting to wonder if Diddy got singled out because of who he is, not what he did. After all, the feds knew about his CSB connections, but they only went after him when he wasn't expecting it. It's like they wanted to send a message that no matter how big you are, if you cross them, you're next. But here's where things get really interesting. A source close to the situation is saying that the feds might be going easy on Diddy because they need his help to take down the CSBs. Apparently, they're hoping that if they cut him some slack, he'll lead them to the CSBs, giving them the inside scoop to finally bust them. It's like a weird kind of partnership where the feds are hoping that Diddy will help them finish the job that they could not do directly. But will Diddy play ball? Will he spill the beans on the CSBs, or is he keeping his mouth shut and hoping they'll leave him alone? Only time will tell what he decides to do. But one thing's for sure, the feds are playing a dangerous game by trusting Diddy. They're hoping he'll lead them to the CSBs, but if he plays them wrong, they could end up empty-handed once again. And speaking of Diddy, he's been moved to the infamous Sycamore unit at FCI Florence ADX. This is where the Supermax inmates are kept under maximum security. It's basically the Alcatraz of the federal prison system. But there's a twist. Sources say Diddy's not chilling in general population. Nope. He's been thrown into protective custody. Word on the street is that he's being held in a special 6x9 cell by himself. He's got a bunk but no cellmate, and the only window he sees is covered with bars. The guards are tight-lipped, but rumors are swirling that the other inmates weren't too happy about Diddy's arrival. Some inmates even made threats against him, which is why the prison officials decided to put him in protective custody for his own safety. But this is where things get spicy. Apparently, some inmates were furious about Diddy's past association with the CSBs. They feel like he was one of them, even though he turned snitch in court. It's like a code of silence in prison. Once you're in, you're in. Now, Diddy's new cell is not your average prison cell. It's got a little extra space where he can move around a bit. But compared to the luxury hotel he's used to, it's like comparing apples to oranges. He's got a TV, but forget about Netflix and chill. He's stuck with limited channels and no remote control. And if he wants to stay connected, he's got to use the payphones in the common area. No private calls in his cell. Plus, he's only allowed 2 15-minute phone calls per week, and if he misses a call, he can't make it up. It's like they're cutting him off from the outside world to keep him in line. But here's the ultimate irony. Despite all the tight security, Diddy's still not safe. Word on the street is that some inmates are plotting to shank him, even in protective custody. They're trying to get their hands on him and make him pay for what he did to the CSBs. And let's not forget about the other inmates who are just itching to lay their hands on the former rap mogul. It's like a waiting game. Everyone's on edge waiting for the next move. Some inmates are trying to intimidate him, while others are just curious about the notorious bad boy. It's a pressure cooker situation, and everyone's wondering how long it will explode. This is Legends Unleashed, and we say it raw, unfiltered, and with the truth no one else dares to deliver.